Literature and Nautical English. 2.2 Joseph Conrad's Heart of Darkness and Nautical English. This unit introduces scanning reading. When you scan a text, you read it quickly in order to find specific information, such as names or figures. Heart of Darkness is more than a story. It contains a depiction of part of maritime history of England. For example, the Golden Hind, the Erebus, and the Terror are mentioned in part 1. Let me recite this passage for you, and you have to find the names of ships. Bear in mind, some ships have "the" in their names. Often, a boat name is preceded by the definite article "the." Forthwith, a change came over the waters, and the serenity became less brilliant, but more profound. The old river in its broad reach rested unruffled at the decline of day, after ages of good service done to the race that peopled its banks. Spread out in the tranquil dignity of a waterway leading to the uttermost ends of the earth. We looked at the venerable stream not in the vivid flush of a short day that comes and departs forever, but in the august light of abiding memories. And indeed, nothing is easier for a man who has, as the phrase goes, followed the sea with reverence and affection than to evoke the great spirit of the past upon the lower reaches of the Thames. The tidal current runs to and fro, its uneasing service, crowded with memories of men and ships it had borne to the rest of home, or to the battles of the sea. It had known and served all the men of whom the nation is proud, from Sir Francis Drake to Sir John Franklin. Knights all, titled and untitled, the great knights errant of the sea. It had borne all the ships whose names are like jewels flashing in the night of time, from the Golden Hind returning with her rotund flanks full of treasure, to be visited by the Queen's Highness, and thus pass out of gigantic tail to the Erebus and Terror, bound on other conquests, and that never returned. It had known the ships and the men. It had borne all the ships whose names are like jewels flashing in the night of time, from the Golden Hind returning with her rotund flanks full of treasure, to be visited by the Queen's Highness, and thus pass out of gigantic tail to the Erebus and Terror, bound on other conquests, and that never returned. It had known the ships and the men. They had sailed from Deptford, from Greenwich, from Aries. The adventurers and the settlers, king's ships and the ships of men unchanged, captains, admirals, the dark interlopers of the eastern trade, and the commissioned generals of East India fleets, hunters for gold or pursuers of fame, they all had gone out on that stream, bearing their sword and often the torch. Messengers of the might within the land, bearers of a spark from the sacred fire. What greatness had not floated on the ebb of that river into the mystery of an unknown earth? The dreams of men, the seed of commonwealths, the germs of empires. Now I would like to talk about these 3 British ships because they are associated with British Empire's overseas possessions and trading posts between the late 16th and early 18th century. Heart of Darkness is considered one of the most influential works, which contains a reflection on corruptible European colonialism and a journey into the nightmare psyche of one of the corrupted as represented by Kurds. Moreover, in the previous paragraph, the seat of commonwealths and the germs of empires refer to the British Commonwealth of Nations, which was created through the Balfour Declaration at the 1926 Imperial Conference. The Commonwealth is a political association of former British colonies. The Golden Hind was a British galleon, a large sailing ship with 3 or 4 masts, used both in trade and war between 1577 and 1580. It was captained by Sir Francis Drake. This galleon was originally known as Pelican, but it was renamed by Drake during the mid-voyage in 1578 in honor of its patron, Sir Christopher Hatton. The top of this galleon was a gold hind. The Erebus was a Hecla-class bomb vessel designed by Sir Henry Peake and constructed by Royal Navy in Pembroke Dockyard, Wales in 1826. The vessel was the second in the Royal Navy named after Erebus, the dark region of Hades in Greek mythology. The Terror was a specialized warship and a newly developed bomb vessel constructed for the Royal Navy in 1813. She participated in several battles of the War of 1812, including the Battle of Baltimore. She was converted into a polar exploration ship 2 decades later and participated in George Banks' Arctic expedition of 1836 to 1837, the Ross exploration of 1839 to 1843, and Sir John Franklin's ill-fated attempt to force the Northwest Passage in 1845. And these 3 ships in Heart of Darkness epitomize the nautical English in this novella.